Welcome to the Bigfooty Eagles RDP episode 8. Not many Naitanuis this episode. We'll discuss things being sunny side up, hashtag return the wings in Gary's stocks, Glass re-signs for a year, the Bombers away, and Luke Darcy asks you to say that again.
We're flying high. We're the Eagles, the West Coast Eagles, and we're here to show you why. We're the big birds, kids of the big game. We're the Eagles. We're flying.
I am QS, and with me tonight I have Coxy.
G'day guys, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. It's good to see this has been a flawless start.
It has been a flawless start, and it's very good to have you back. You add that touch of Pendlebury to the podcast. And pantskyle.
Oh, great to be here again for another week. Excellent.
That sounded like Richie Benno almost. And we have Keys.
Alright, how's it going guys?
Go Keys. And the doc, Toshowyouwhy.
Hi guys, it's me, the Doc. It's really excellent to be here this week. Got my nails and hair done. And I'm a writer for the Brisbane Lions. Woo.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Oh, I just laugh them. Watching men run around.
Hang on, that doesn't sound like Doc. I think, no, we're just messing with you. They're actually not here, so it's just the three of us.
Yes, that was Ochre doing that lovely feminine voice.
No, it wasn't. That was you.
No, I refuse.
Actually, that was Pantskyle's normal voice.
It was,
The
wasn't
voice
it?
you hear in the podcast is a different voice.
He turned off the auto-tune for that one.
You said you wouldn't tell. Bitch.
Mate, we don't judge around here. Right, it all
Yes,
came...
we do.
We try not to. All came up sunny side up for us on the weekend. Did you like that one?
That was terrible.
No, it was great. We beat the
We should
Suns.
backtrack a little bit.
No,
Because what did I say last week? And what did you say, QS, when you were giving your tips about who would win this game?
I said this.
I reckon the Suns by 12.
Yeah, so you can't actually deny that you didn't actually say that, and I told you we were going to win this game.
Yes,
I said
well...
it. You and Keys.
Yeah, you said this.
Yeah, I think we'll win 5 to 10 goals.
And even better, Coxie said this.
I'll go West Coast by... let's go 15.
Say that again.
What? So it appears that I was wrong. Yes, I admit that I was wrong, and you two were right. So
Yeah, Coxie only 2 points off.
yeah, he's done pretty well there. Did he put any money on it? That's the question.
No, but I put money on Fremantle and won $90, so thank you.
Oh, there you go. You can thank the Dockers for something at least.
It was Carlton. They can beat Carlton.
Carlton. Yes. No, that was always going to happen, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's play over. Let's get on with the podcast.
I think we should. And one of the things that really stood out for me was the job that was done on Gary Ablett by several different parties. How did you see that one, Kyle? I mean, who spent the most time on him?
Well, Scooter did, and I said last week that Scooter would tag him, and he was going to be back to his tagging best, and I think he was. I thought he did really well against Gary Ablett, who was hitting, late 30s disposals-wise in the last few weeks. So I was very happy with Scooter's game. Tallied off a little bit, but he's, first game back expected. But I think Glassy was on him at some point as well, which was pretty good to look at.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, he's not slow, Glass, anyway, by any stretch of the imagination. He's trying to chase
someone
down
said
the
that in the match day thread. Someone said something about Glass being old and slow and past it, and I remember replying with, "You're kidding, right? He's been in our top 3 best players," and I think just after that he ran with one of the Gold Coast players, didn't catch him, but ran with him almost, only a metre or so behind, and he was running like he was 20.
That was Hall, I think, wasn't it? That young, small fella?
Yeah, I think it was Hall, yep.
So he's only
I don't know if Glass running like he was 20 is actually a good thing.
Yeah, he's probably slower when he was 20. He's
One
actually...
of those days.
He's aged well. Certainly has.
He's like a fine wine.
He is a fine wine. So that was
I
probably...
would like to drink him.
We do like... No, we don't like...
Out of a glass.
Oh, that is absolutely horrible. But we're full
Yeah.
of
When I've
horrible.
made the worst, when I haven't made either of the worst two jokes here, you know we're going well.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's too early to
plenty of
discount
time.
that happening.
Just started.
Yeah. Another thing that went our way is Jago O'Meara was pretty quiet. He didn't have
Did
his
he play?
best game. He did play, and you wouldn't have thought so.
He was.
He was pretty ineffectual.
Didn't play
And
Subi well.
yeah, so that I think the other thing that went our way is Lysette showed a little bit again, which was promising. And obviously the big Coxinator, number 46, didn't he step up?
Last quarter was Coxey at his absolute best.
Yep, I agree.
What do you have? 13 disposals and about 14 or something hitouts, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, something
Kicked a goal.
140 odd Dream Team points. But being the jumper buff, maybe Coxey wants to explain to us why he was wearing the number 46 anyway.
I believe that the number 20 spare that he should have been wearing was ripped. Well, no, he ripped his original jumper, and the spare, I believe the dye was wrong or something, so it had the wrong blue. Probably a royal blue, and we know how much the club doesn't like that at home. Hashtag return the wings. And yeah, so we grabbed Tunny's one,
Tunny.
which actually was a little small, which kind of did make it funny.
No,
Tunny.
almost ended up looking like a Sydney Guernsey on him, didn't it? It was just that.
Tippett.
Yeah, Tippett's Guernsey. Yeah, that's nice and tight. But
Is it a Guernsey or a bib?
well, there is an argument to say that it's a bib, but ours are definitely Guernseys, and I think we went through that on one of the previous RDPs. But yeah, he had a really good game. Obviously, Kennedy, he got involved. He's kicked away 5 clear in the Coleman now, thanks to Roughhead getting held to absolutely bugger all goals. So that was great when they got flogged by the Tigers.
Bit of a perfect weekend for him in regards to who was chasing and who was up and around him. To
Cameron
be able
got a few.
to skip around.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
I think
Yeah,
the commentators would have given him a few, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
What?
he's
They
he's
tend
a
to love
golden
him.
child.
He is a golden child. He can do no wrong, but he's a good player, good young kid, and he's
He's a good player.
got really no one to take goals off him though. That's the thing. But
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
they average about 1 goal every 8 quarters.
so he's going to kick the bulk of them, isn't he?
Yeah,
Fuck,
but
what does Melbourne average then?
Melbourne, I don't know. It's probably not very good.
but that's what they're trying for. So good on them.
Yeah, well, hopefully they don't get another pick, but that's another story altogether.
Oh, they won't get the priority pick.
No, hopefully not.
Absolutely.
And if they do, they'll waste it, and then we'll get him for pick 88.
So what do we take out of that game, Coxie? Is there any positives to take out of there?
Personally, that game got us a week closer to the NFL season for me. There was absolutely nothing out of that game I took.
It just seemed very flat, didn't it? It was just passionless. There was, a win's a win. I guess it's nice to not get beaten, but it's a really sort of weird feeling to be middle of the road, I guess. We're not bad enough to be upset that we've been so terrible this season, and we haven't been good enough to make finals. So it's just an odd feeling, and it's probably not since about 2008 that we've sort of been in that position, I don't think.
Yeah, because even during the bad years, you could go and watch, and there were kids, Shuey, Selwood, Ebert. You could watch them, and they play well at least. Even we won, got smashed, but there's no one in the current team. Hutchings to an extent, but he's not going to be any more than a plodder at best. And so there's nothing to take out of it. We're not playing finals. There's no really good young kids.
What about Sharad Wellingham? He looks all right.
Yeah, he did well. I have to admit, when we did the trade, I thought pick 17 was overs for him, but past 2 games, he's been really good.
It just
Some
adds
of his
Go on.
some of his kickings to leads in that game. I know his kicking isn't his strength, but on the weekend, he was kicking 30, 40 metre passes to teammates that weren't going above their heads.
No, that's what I noticed too. They were pretty precision-like, and it makes it easy for those guys in the forward 50 when you've got a pass coming in where, as long as they get to it in front of their man, there's no chance he's going to get spoiled. Whereas if you bomb it on a guy's head, there's still every chance, you might get your man or somebody else come across to spoil it, and it's a wasted opportunity. And we've been pretty poor at that this year. Hashtag return the wings, Coxie. Before we've had a bit of a breakthrough, it seems today. You want to run us through that?
I'm sure most people who listen to this are probably well across it by now. But Gary Stocks, I think the now Bigfooty proclaimed god. He's put it on the West Coast side as a poll where everyone can go and vote for whatever jumpers they want, and the club will take some. What's the word I'm looking for here?
They'll consider. Money? It'll be a consideration.
Yeah, how much consideration we don't know, but I mean, compared to what they've done in the past, it's night and day. So, everyone just get on there and vote and vote and vote, and hopefully, hashtag return the wings.
Yep, and there's obviously it's not got a lot of airplay on the West Coast website, so the link is on their Facebook page, and it's also on our Return the Wings Twitter account, so there should be a post there with a link. And
I actually think that if the club doesn't broadcast this that much, it actually plays into our favour. Because from Bigfooty, I think the pro wings vote is going to be a higher percentage than just the general fans.
Yeah, I probably think so too. But the problem we face there is then that they go, well, we really didn't get enough interest to care too much about it. So
because everyone on Bigfooty votes 100 times a day.
Well, it seems that way, doesn't it? But they don't know that, and we don't do that. No,
They'll suspect.
One thing you do not do is don't go on to, say, Chrome or Firefox, and don't open an incognito or privacy mode, and don't vote a lot of times.
And don't
do this.
Don't close your browser after you voted, then reopen it and try to do it again. It's not right, and it's not in the spirit of the game.
No, and Jesus would not like it.
No.
And you'll go to hell.
And don't put silicone tape on the jumpers either.
Put what?
Not smart.
Ah, yes, DRS. Gotcha.
That's got to be the weirdest news story of the week.
Yeah, but that's cricket, and this is not the Big Footy Cricket podcast, or the Big Cricket. So shut up, Coxie.
Sorry.
I think we're all upset with the DRS. But
we're not. Who cares?
But, yeah, I mean, that is a massive step forward. You said it's night and day in terms of what we had in the past. It's really good to see. Seems all of a sudden Gary's come out and really wanted to interact with the fans, and even if it hasn't happened as much as we would have liked previously, it's good to see that it's happening now. I think that they've had a bit of a sense that perhaps the fans aren't too impressed with what they've seen this year. So, I mean, there could be two sides to that. Sorry to cut you off, but no, you're right.
I mean, it's an interesting the part of it where, like, what he posted on Facebook was very coincidental to being around the same time of what we did. Now, was it a deliberate act from West Coast in regards to that, or was it just purely coincidental? And it's really interesting because it just seemed the timing was absolutely perfect from both sides, and we were like, "Oh my God, look at what just happened! This is our biggest door that we can all walk through." It was quite amazing that happened that way. I thought anyway.
Are you talking about the jumper poll?
No, the original comment from Gary on the Facebook page saying he was going to look and he had been neglecting it and he wanted to get back in touch. And it seemed to happen just around the same time that we started really pushing for it. And I just wonder if it was a coincidence or just excellent timing for us.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I think that was the catalyst. I think we'd set up the Twitter account and
we had started beforehand, definitely, and we pushed it a little bit. And there wasn't a lot of movement. We wanted it, but
this is a fan blog post, right? Not the one he made before today, right?
Yeah, that's the one where he'd said that he'd been neglecting the page. And I think from that, somebody mentioned, well, hey, this has happened. Why don't you get in touch with Gary Stocks via Twitter? And I think that's where the first post come from. And
this is the one where I got completely outed on Facebook by a couple of you nuffies on the Big Footy.
Oh, gee, it wasn't hard. It was not.
Am I the only West Coast supporter called Kyle? Come on.
Wow, it's just maybe it's your posting style that's distinct.
I got,
Yeah,
what's
that's
that?
right.
I thought it-
Yeah, we haven't made any assumptions. It's good news though. So it's open for 3 weeks at this stage. The first round, we'll see what goes on after that. And meanwhile, we'll keep pumping that message out there on Twitter and on the Facebook page.
Wait, is the
really
first
hope-
round 3 weeks?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, well, it may give us enough time to also get something printed up and maybe still dish out some flyers at the home games. We probably don't need the petition, or maybe we do. Maybe it's a good idea to have a petition still as a support, but we can just...
Wait, hang on. Just looking at the website, I reckon they mean that each round will be a week and it'll be 3 weeks overall.
Do you? Okay, well, it may be that way then. So over the course of 3 weeks, they'll run this thing and then sit back and assess it after the end of the season.
Get us through to the end of the finals without us all realising that our team is playing very bad. Keep us distracted.
Yeah.
Put something in front, like dangling keys in front of you all.
Here, we're looking at changing the Guernsey. Have your vote and don't worry about how we're playing.
Isn't that what we
Look at the
did?
monkey.
Yes. I think it distracted us, didn't it?
Yeah,
That's good. We've done a lot to distract ourselves this year, I reckon. So we've done pretty well. I don't think our board has gone into total meltdown and hasn't shut down Bigfooty, so we've got to be pretty proud of that.
Well, this podcast is a good example of distracting ourselves.
This is, relaxes me on a Sunday morning in the bath. Turn it on. Glass of red wine, candles.
Yes, Sunday morning, of course.
I'm not sleeping again.
Darren Glass. We were all a bit... there's a bit of conjecture as to whether he would go on for another year. I kind of thought he might do because he's playing good footy. He doesn't look like he's slowing down. Obviously, we spoke about he's still got his bit of toe. He's still got the desire to play, and I personally think he's probably playing close to his best footy of his career at 31.
Last 2 years have been spectacular, yeah.
He's been great. So he's signed on for another year. Have we got any thoughts about that? Are we okay with that? Do we want Brown to sort of go through the motions for another year with Glass to sort of get a bit of an understanding and a bit more mentor?
I didn't think it was any actual doubt that he was going to re-sign, and then only a couple of days ago he started mentioning that he was only 50-50, and I thought, oh, hang on. That doesn't sound confident. You know, that doesn't sound a very confident comment from your captain. It doesn't sound like he's going to stay on, and then, flashbang thrown into the room and re-sign for a year. It's the West Coast way, I think, with contract announcements as well.
Yeah,
Did it with Brown.
Sort of just come. I've got a question for
Just
you,
happened.
Coxie. What do you reckon will happen with the captaincy now that he's staying on? Will he keep...
I was actually just about to ask you this, but I don't know. I think originally at the start of this year I would have said that if he played on next year, then he definitely wouldn't be captain. But I think with what's happened with Waters this year and him being probably the club's preferred option to take over, I think now we're in kind of a pickle in that Glass being captain next year probably isn't ideal. But I don't know if we have a good, replacement in the wing.
Josh Kennedy will be captain next season.
Will he?
Yep.
You willing to stake anything on that?
Everything. That's my mail.
That's your mail.
As certain as you were that Mitch Brown won't be here next year.
Someone was listening.
Well, that was a curveball.
It was a curveball. It wasn't even the same sport.
I got that one right. I honestly didn't think he was going to be here. So, kudos to him for sticking around. That says more about his character than my inside knowledge.
Look, I wouldn't be adverse to JK being captain. It's just...
JK's a captain. Yeah, he's a captain in waiting. Bo Waters won't be the captain of the West Coast Eagles. He can't stay on the park. He's a good player. He's a good vice-captain. I think Glass will hand it over to JK. Waters will continue vice-captain. And then we will have probably another vice-captain coming through the ranks as well.
What about a couple of oddballs? How about Scott Selwood or Jack Darling?
Well, Scott Selwood or Chris Maston will be the vice-captain with Waters.
Yeah.
Jack's not ready?
I don't think Jack's captaincy material.
No, not captaincy material. He's a leader, but he's not a captain.
Well,
not yet.
Josh Kennedy's still young anyway, so he's got plenty of time.
Josh Kennedy will, he'll as I said, he'll captain next year. and he'll be our captain for a very long time.
Yeah.
He's our best player as well, so, and he's a leader.
Would Hearn be any chance?
Nah.
Nah,
No.
Alright.
How old's Hearn? He'd be, 27, 28 now, wouldn't he?
25 or something, isn't he?
Is he really only 20? He just looks older than he is, I think, doesn't he?
This is he's the Benjamin Button of our
Shannon
football
Hearn
club.
is 25, but 26 in
Yeah,
September.
25.
Oh, that's still enough time.
He's pretty bloody young. And actually, I wouldn't be against next season. You go with Kennedy and Hearn, either
hang on.
your vice captain or co-captain. Wouldn't
I
bother
think
me.
we may have forgotten someone here. Much to the disappointment of the whole board, could it be Pritis?
No, not a captain. Not a captain.
Imagine if that happened.
There seems to be about 4 articles a year on his leadership.
Yeah, but he's not a captain. You can be a leader without and not have the skill set or something to be a captain.
Well, that's what happened in
You know,
2006, didn't it? Ben Cousins?
Oh, I think Judd was a decent captain.
Judd was a good captain, and Cousins didn't give up the captaincy; he lost the captaincy.
Yeah. Through some bad behaviour, apparently.
It wasn't like he was handballing it, going, "Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, it's time for the next brigade to happen."
He didn't run away from the captaincy.
No, he didn't swim away from the captaincy either.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben.
Did drugs with the captaincy?
Allegedly.
What do you
No,
mean?
I don't think that's allegedly.
That's confirmed. Return the drugs. Hashtag.
Return the drugs. Yeah, so
And my cuz.
Glassy staying on another
Does
year.
Indeed.
Go the Cars. Yeah, Glassy staying on another year. Be interesting to see what happens with the captaincy anyway. So, Kyle...
I just told you what will happen.
Well, you think it's going to happen, Kyle. It doesn't
No,
mean
it will
it's
happen.
Gonna... Okay, all right. Well, we'll see about that. Essendon game. This is going to be an interesting one. Before we launch into it, we don't ordinarily want to really discuss the goings on at Essendon in terms of the Asada investigation, but given that we're playing this week and there is some mail that Kyle and Coxie will have a chat about, I thought it was relevant. So go on, spill your guts. What have you heard?
Well, all I've heard is
that a
that
pun?
basically... Hey?
He said, what have you heard?
Yeah, well,
Heard?
yeah, it was very clever, and Kyle completely
Stop trying to
missed
be
it.
clever, mate. No, I understand. I understand what he's saying. It just frustrates me when he speaks over me like that. I'm kidding.
You've
I
got
love
the
you,
floor.
Foxy. Thank you. So anyway, I
Sorry
hear
about that, Carl.
James. That's all right. I'll poke you on Facebook. I've heard that James. Well, everyone's heard it. Apparently, the rumor is heard. Mark Rashudo said the other day that Heard will be asked to stand down on Thursday, but I think there was some late mail saying that it's the AFL's going to pretty much say no, you have to go. He apparently did take I can't pronounce the drug, the performance enhancing drug. He took it. Yeah, that might be it. And Asada or Wada have pretty much said, yeah, you pretty much are involved in that. You may not be a player, but you still have to fall under these guidelines, or the AFL said that.
I think the thing with Heard is that it's not... because I think officials... I don't think in every sport they're bound to the same rules as the players, but I believe the Coaches Association has rules that the coaches do come under the same drugs code as the players.
I'd be pretty disappointed if that wasn't the case, though, because I think if you're the coach of these players, you shouldn't be doing.
Oh, they shouldn't be doing it, but if they take something that's just going to improve, the physical.
He's a coach. Imagine Kevin Sheedy having it. I'm in my 80s. Feel like getting my muscles pumping.
Well, Mick Malthouse definitely has some roid rage.
Yeah, but that's his moustache that does that.
But no, I think, judging from what I've heard, I think originally, by the sounds of it, the Asada report that's been handed down, I think strongly suggests that Heard did take Exarelin, allegedly. And so I think that's where this rumour came from. But going on what I've heard, I think it's unlikely that he'll be stood down tomorrow or today, when you're listening to this.
Stood down eventually though, because
I would be
this,
shocked if he coaches next year.
through this whole thing, James Hurd's a bit of a mystery in this, because very good football player, has been pretty steadfast in his opinion that he's not done anything wrong, and the club has done nothing wrong. But all this innuendo and all these rumours circulating exactly what he's done, and he just looks like nothing will stick to him. They call what Teflon James now.
He's basically put himself above the club.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting if it comes out that he hasn't actually done anything, because he really looks guilty. He doesn't look like it. He's talking about how innocent he is, but he doesn't look innocent. I don't know if that's just because of the facelift he had, but he just does not look like someone telling the truth.
If Hurd was innocent, then Evans and Robson would never have stood down.
Mm.
The CEO and president don't stand down if you're innocent.
I think we're going to find that the players are going to. I think the players are going to be safe.
Yeah,
as far as the bans go, but I think the club is going to receive sanctions, which is going to be fines. Will be loss of draft picks. Will be loss of premiership points, and coaching staff and managers or whatever will all get the boot. I would hate to see players stood down now. I think. Yeah. You
keep going.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I would hate to see, because I think not only does it weaken the sport to see, you're talking potentially half a team, if not more, being stood down, but it's a sad process for them. But then you got to look at the other side, I guess. When do you take responsibility for yourself?
Well, by the sounds of it, there's just not enough proof that the players. The individual players did take these drugs for it to stand up in court.
Which might be the worst thing that Joe Watson ever did, was admitting that he did it. Unknowingly, but admitting it, that Sada or Wada might just go, well, that's an admission. Here's your 2 years.
I mean, I must admit, I've never actually seen the Job interview, but he didn't categorically say, didn't he say I may have been injected with it, or I think I have?
He said I have. No, I'm pretty certain he said he had been injected with it. Was it AOD or whatever?
Yeah, in that case.
And you're right. The other players might get off scot-free because they never admitted and they never tested positive. But I don't know. There was a reason why the club would have been a little bit baffled as to why he actually did that, because I think there's a lot of confusion, a lot of dumbstruck people going, did that just happen? Why would he do that? So, might be his own worst enemy, and trying to prove his innocence, and he's not knowing what happened. He might have shot himself in the foot.
But don't the players have a duty upon themselves to find out what they're taking if they're at all concerned?
Yeah, but if you're an 18-year-old who's gone to a club, and the club doctor says it's safe, and the coach says it's safe, and you've signed a form that says it's safe. I mean, are you really gonna, I reckon I would be pretty, comfortable thinking that it was safe.
Yeah, Well, this is why they're going to get in trouble. It's the guinea pig mentality, and I think I posted this on the board the other day, that then the players won't get done because they didn't know, and they might have been told, the Essendon Football Club might have been told by Wada or Asada that, yes, this performance-enhancing drug, or this drug, whatever it is, it's not in our banned list, but they're going to get done because these two organisations didn't tell them that it was safe to use on humans. And Essendon will get done because they treated their players like guinea pigs, like lab rats or lab monkeys, and injected them with something that wasn't approved for human use, and rightfully so. I'd be pretty pissed off if I was an Essendon player.
It'd be. we know exactly what
Black
that
Ops.
is.
Black Ops.
Black Ops.
Say that again.
For anyone listening out there, of our 2.5 listeners, what's that?
2.5?
2.5. What's that YouTube video called, Coxie?
Oh, Call of Darcy Black Ops.
There you go. Check that out. It's quite funny. So if there is any sanctions to be
say
handed,
that again.
If there is any sanctions to be handed down, will that happen this year, or is it going to happen next year, do you think?
It has to happen. If they're going to strip premiership points, it has to happen this year.
Well,
They can't let finals start.
Well, I think it needs to happen this year. I'd probably agree with you there because some integrity needs to remain in the final series.
Well, it'll happen twice. First time it'll be the AFL, and then it'll be ASADA. The AFL will come down in a few weeks, definitely before finals, and then ASADA will come down sometime in the off season.
A double glove slap.
We can't risk Essendon winning the premiership and then getting found guilty.
No, fair enough.
We cannot risk that.
That
destroys our game more than anything else through this whole shit. Is if they win the premiership and they get found guilty. If they win the premiership and they get found not guilty, well, kudos to them. What a brave year.
Brave, very brave. Speaking of brave,
Black Ops.
Speaking of brave, we got a couple of players that are looking like they're going to come back in earlier than expected. So that's actual bravery right there to take on the Bombers. They're saying that Marston could return. Possibly.
Marston will.
Shuey's no chance.
Shuey no chance. Naitanuis wants to, but he won't play.
He's not allowed to.
Not allowed to. Good. Although I kind of like to see him play because I'd like to beat Essendon this week.
Yeah, look. Who else was said to come in? That was in the press conference.
Pritis will come in.
Oh, Pritis. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I reckon we looked better with
Adam Selwood is back. Good.
Oh, great. Did we look better without Pritis?
I don't think so. I think a lot of people went, look, no Pritis, look how fast our midfield is. But
well,
I don't think we won that much of the midfield contest, did we?
But I think we're up against a decent midfield.
Yeah, well, they were. And what I noticed is the clearances that we did get, and we do get a lot of clearances normally. They just doesn't look like it because it gets locked in so often. But the clearances we did get, they actually were advantageous. And that's, I think, the point of difference between when we have Pritis and when we don't have Pritis.
I don't think we looked better. I just think we felt better.
If we'd had Shuey, if we'd had Marston in, and Pritis was the only main midfielder out, then you could probably judge if we looked better. But when half the midfield's out, Naitanuis out as well, then it's hard to judge if we look better.
Wellingham.
But I really loved. Yeah, I really. I was about to say that. I was going to say, if we could get Pritis in the guts to grab the ball and just handball it straight to Wellingham, then I think we'd be a lot better looking.
That's the problem. Can he do that? Is he quick enough mentally?
Well, we know he's got great hands, and I mean, surely the time difference between deciding to kick or deciding to handball can't be that much brain time.
Wow, you wouldn't think so, but look, what are your thoughts? Essendon were terrible against Collingwood. Are they going to be all fired up?
They've been terrible for a few weeks now.
They have. They've been down, haven't they?
I mean, the week before Collingwood, they were smashed by Hawthorn, and the week before that, they struggled against the Giants. So, maybe this year June's just come a few months later for them.
Yeah. So how do you think we're going to go?
That said, I'm not very confident, but I think Essendon will win. Maybe not by a lot. I'll go 24 points.
24 points. I reckon we'll win by 2.
Ooh. Say that again.
I reckon we'll win by 2.
Black Ops.
Again, Black Ops. Look, I think Essendon are down. They looked pretty poor, and like it or not, we do tend to play pretty well against the Bombers. We match up well against them. I'm not sure whether it's just the game styles complement each other, but it doesn't seem to be a game where we don't at least have a crack for part of the match. Now, the key is how long for the game can we actually stay in touch? Do we play 2 quarters? Do we play 3 quarters? Do we play 4 quarters? When they played us recently over at Subi, we really only played sort of 3 quarters, and that whole last quarter we were blitzed, and that's how we lost the game. But we were pretty competitive when we didn't expect to be for that period of time. And we don't play too badly at Etihad. So,
yeah, Etihad's a good ground for us. I think if we go in with the team that we played against with the Suns last week, I think they'll probably belt us a little bit. I think we might lose by close to 10 goals. If we can get some good ins in, Lecker and that, engines, then I think we can give it a real shake. But I don't know. Look, I mean, with the shit that's gone down at Essendon Football Club this week, they could come out firing. They're on the back foot right now as much as they've been all season. They could hurt us, or we could shock them. I don't know. We either win by a couple of goals, like a goal maybe, or they beat us by 10.
So you don't think we've got the surface to air missiles to shoot down the Bombers?
No, not with the team. Not if we don't make changes. No.
No, fair enough. So what's your tip there, Kyle?
1 goal to us if we make the correct changes and we play hard football. If we don't make necessary changes, we'll lose by 10 goals if we don't keep up any intensity in this game.
All right. Well, I'll take your last one. We're going to lose by 10 goals, and that's what you said. That's your tip.
Or we'll win by a goal.
Can't have both ways, mate. Pick one.
Yeah, but I don't know the teams. Yeah, but look, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I don't think a couple of players are going to make too much difference.
It depends what the players are.
Depends how they sleep on the plane, maybe. If they're refreshed.
Yeah, it depends what movie's shown.
This could hurt us. I mean, don't get me wrong. This could be an absolute belting towards us.
Well, if that's the case, then they'll learn something from it, won't they? It's tough love.
Yeah, take
Do more
better
drugs.
Ooh.
Drugs, not hugs.
We got to move on to post of the week now, guys. I'll go first. I've found one, and it's just basically I've been pretty pessimistic about our chances on most of these podcasts, and so I thought it was high time I found a post that was more pessimistic than what I have been. This was posted by Ndot in the changes for round 20 versus Essendon thread. Today at 10:28, he said, preparing to witness another pathetic display that illustrates how far we've fallen in the space of one season. Purely quoted because it's probably more pessimistic than I've been.
Yeah, pessimistic indeed.
How about you, Kyle? What have you dragged up?
Yeah, look, I found one from the Win Guernsey petition thread, posted this evening from Elmac, and I thought it was I got a bit of a chuckle out of it. It's nothing special, but I got a chuckle. So he writes, just in regards to getting more signatures and stuff, we could go to a fat camp and con them into thinking #Return the Wings is a KFC initiative.
Not
bad.
Isn't that clever? All right, Coxie, what do you got?
Can I do a signature that I just saw that's funny instead of...
You can do anything you like. You've got the floor.
I have a post, but I also saw a different signature which made me laugh more.
All right, well, tell us your post, and you can tell us your signature as well, because that's
the
nice.
post is by Byron Klanger, who
Byron.
actually, can I just say, has got a terrific avatar.
What is it?
It's like Robbo from the years and years ago.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
And it kind of looks like he's
with the
wearing the
hair.
ochre, but he's not. Yeah, that hair. It's in the Dean Cox in number 46 thread, and he said, would have been better if he ran out in the ochre jumper. Just saying. And I think that's something we can all agree on.
I think so too.
Yeah, well.
Byron Klanger speaks the truth.
Yeah.
He's
Can I do
a
my
prophet.
signature then?
Yes, you can do your signature now.
Okay, this is from the Quins, who's just returned from his trip around Europe.
Nice. The Sojourning Quins 8.
Yes,
He's back,
one.
is he?
Assume so. He's posting more.
At correct
He
times
is.
of the day, not odd times of the day.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
his
cool.
signature is #Return the Wings, which that's not the interesting bit. It's good. Everyone put that in your signature bit. And then the
support.
second bit, sorry?
Good support for the cause. It's always good to see, but keep going.
And then the second bit is #Stand by Pretis and wait for the handball, which is obviously a takeoff of Essendon's #Stand by Herb. And I found that funny.
But what that does to me is it invokes visions of somebody standing there tapping their foot, waiting for Pritis to dispose of the ball, which is accurate too. So it's actually a play on the Essendon thing, and some dude impatiently standing there waiting for the ball from Pritis. So
Yeah, just not a player, just like some fan.
a fan.
Or the umpire.
Or the umpire.
Just someone.
Peter Carey, hello.
Stephen Dank.
Right, so I kind of like the Byron Klanger one, to be honest. What about you, Kyle?
You would. Well, yeah. I didn't really pay attention to anything you guys said, so
I can't remember
Byron
what
Klanger can win
yours
this
were.
one.
Byron
Yeah,
Klanger, well done. So where
Yeah,
is this
same,
post?
I forgot to
We'll go and
It
like
is
it.
the last post in the Dean
It
Cox
is
number
here.
46 thread.
On your lap, is it?
Right. I'll go and like that one, and you should too, Kyle, as a reward. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I know there's only three of us tonight, so it's always a little different when we have to speak a bit more. But I think we've done a good job, and hopefully people have enjoyed listening to it. So thanks for joining
Don't get
us.
your hopes up too much.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, look. You may laugh, you may cry, you might turn off.
We
5
promise
minutes in.
Dean and Keyser will be back next week.
Doc
You
and-
missed a couple of last week, QS.
Did I? Say that again.
I said you missed a couple of last week, QS.
I'm not sure in what context you're referring to, but okay.
Is this a record low for Naitanuis? We've barely had any.
I think it is.
Say again.
So pretty much the whole 15.
Oh shit!
What did you say?
Oh shit!
That's not something I can make the title, is it?
No,
No.
you've got to Naitanuis that out.
I'll do my very
Through
best.
the second half. You get black.
I should have went with cops. And more ironic is that you have to Naitanuis that.
Oh dear, you're giving everyone a hint to what you said now. So
Oh my god!
I will.
It's actually going to be so, because it's going to be Natanui.
All right.
Oh god!
So anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you.
I've been Ochre. We've had QS and Eddie McGuire with us.
We have indeed. And
Good call,
shit.
Hutchie.
all right, thanks guys.
Cheers.
See ya.